you gotta talk a
Why?
little bit
You gotta
first.
talk. You can't mute yourself.
I will, but I'll mute myself until you tell me to talk.
Okay.
Do you really want to hear my 2-year-old scream? No.
Sure. Hi,
I
Christina.
have my 3-year-old right here.
Where's Tommy?
Go ahead.
He's right there.
Hi, Tommy.
Just talk.
Yay! So I guess this is technically our first team call.
Yes.
That's awesome. I know we had one last week, but huh? Did someone say something?
Sorry. Go
I
ahead.
don't think it was technically our first team call last week, but I think technically this is our first team call.
I would say this is the first.
I concur.
So what is it? October
5th,
5th.
right? Yeah.
The beginning of a dynasty. Right here.
You're looking at it. So yeah, tonight, like, we're going to talk about a couple things, just like kind of off the cuff that we've been talking about today that I think is relevant to the beginning of the building of this team. But, you know, obviously, if anyone has questions, just kick in anytime. You know, just throw in your 2 cents worth. And Wendy
Hi, Wendy.
Falker says it.
Okay, so first of all, I just want to say
Swear.
they're gonna say this on the corporate call tonight, but anybody that's already received your wine, do not throw out your tasting notes, because if you have 12 months of tasting notes, you get like some sort of prize. Like, I don't know, like they said some sort of wine carrying thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
So-
like a wine carrying case of some sort, of nice one.
So if you're in for 12 months and you have 12 months of your wine shipment, they're gonna send us a prize, and they're gonna be rolling out prizes for every rank. So Brandy, you're gonna get like a box of prizes.
Right. Yeah, and we're going to be getting like very like fancy wine openers, aerators, all these different engraved wine glasses that are personalized, all these things for hitting various ranks, and you're like an inch away from being at Master Cellar now, so you're going to get everything. So
So you're
that's
just gonna
awesome.
get it all in a big box.
But that's what they're going to talk about tonight. I have a little bit of inside scoop to that, but that's the kind of things they're going to cover. Plus, the most important thing, I think, is they're going to talk about an e-wallet thing that they're coming out with. So they're going to be able to, instead of sending us a check once a week and charging us $5 to do that, they're going to be having some kind of a direct deposit thing going on of some sort. I don't know any more details, but I just know it's going to be more technologically advanced than snail mailing a check. That's the only thing I know. So that's going to be talked about tonight too. So that's kind of the inside scoop that no one else knows, but now you all know. But the specifics of all that will be talked about tonight.
Yeah.
So what do we want to talk about?
Well, we're going to talk about the importance of using our script and not puking on people.
Yeah.
So, Brandy, unmute yourself.
Okay, I'm unmuted.
Okay. So I know some people on our team have kind of been wandering away from the scripts a little bit and probably sharing too much information. But can you please, like, you are almost already like at the title of Master Seller. Can you please tell people what you've been saying? Like, what have you been using the script?
I definitely have been using the script in the very beginning, especially until I got my groove. Should I say my groove? I don't even know what you mean, but basically, I don't say too much. I feel like people's problem is they talk way too much, and I'm learning that from that virtual upline that I'm doing. When people talk too much, they just, it's just too much information for somebody. So either follow the scripts. I really recommend following the scripts because they do work. And I just send a message like, here's 2 examples. So like, I've been sending somebody a message and they'll say, hey girl, how have you been? And they'll say, I'm doing great. How are you? And then I said, I'm doing really good. I am just working on my new wine business. And it was honestly how one of my conversations went. So it wasn't like I messaged her to say, hey, join my, and she said, wine, ? Tell me more.
Right.
And I said, are you serious? Well, I said, well, I just given this opportunity to be at the very start of a company that hasn't even launched yet, and would you mind getting on a three-way call? That is all I say. And 99.9% of the time, they're like, sure, why not?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's important if you have not talked to somebody in a very long time, you have got to say just, hey, like, how are you? How are you doing? Just re-spark the conversation, start talking to them, just make small talk. And then the conversation will lead into, you know, this, they will eventually ask, well, how are you? How are you doing? And that's when you can bring up, well, I'm doing awesome. I just started this new wine business, you know, that sort of thing. As far as like cold market leads, if you don't know the person at all, what I've been doing is like I'll post a wine photo on my Facebook, and if someone comments on it or shares it or likes it, I'll message them and actually just say, hey, thanks for, and this is if I've never talked to them in my life, I'm like, hey, thanks for sharing my wine photo. I've never connected with you before. You know, how are you doing? Or I said, I never connected with you before. I always like to connect with new people. That's it. That's all I say. And they always come back and say, hey, you're welcome. Yeah, I found it hilarious. It's nice to connect with you too. And then I asked them if they like wine. Or I say, if they shared my wine photo, obviously they like wine. So I asked them, hey, you obviously like wine as much as I do. And they're like, yes. And I'm like, great. And then I bring up, I probably should plug my phone in. Then I bring up, you know, I just had this fall in my lap. And, you know, I think you might be, or are you open to doing a three-way call? I've been listening to Ray Higdon and Bob Keelig, and there's some serious psychology in doing stuff like this, and using the words, are you open instead of are you interested is huge. So start saying, I'm going to actually change the script to reflect this, because right now it says, are you interested? Because that's what I've been doing. But actually using, are you open is working better. So I gotta.
And that's the same thing with the head, like you said, psychology. When you're talking way too much, and that's something I learned from him too. When you're talking way too much, in somebody's mind, they're like, "Holy crap! I could never do what she does. Like that's awesome, but that's way too much work. Like she already knows all of that." And I have learned that the hard way because I am a talker. Like kidding, I'm not kidding. I'm a talker. And that's why my Zooms are timed, because I'll never shut up. But honestly, it's the truth. Honestly, when you talk too much and give out too much information, they won't say it, and they might not even know they're thinking that, but it is a psychology thing. Like, whoa, that's awesome, but that's way too much work for me. I just like to drink it, honestly. So three-way calls are a big deal for sure. And this, like right now, like take a picture of yourself and post it on Facebook and say, you know, I just was given this really cool opportunity. Like, you know, we're talking wine or whatnot. And just throw a little jab at there that I started a wine company. You know, and don't say anything else. Don't say anything else. And everybody that likes that post and comments on that post, say, I will send you a personal message. So if they comment on your post, don't be like commenting under it all the time. Send them a personal message. That's another piece.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, just simple connecting is all we have to do. And, you know, once they say, are you open to learning about, you know, maybe making some money at home and getting your wine for free, 99% of the time they're like, well, yeah, you're talking my language. Like, that sounds great. Like, what do I have to do? And then all you say is, okay, awesome. I'm in a hurry right now. First of all, you have to be in a hurry. This is another thing that I've learned from Ray Higdon and Bob Healy this week. I'm in a hurry right now. I got to jump on this conference call, even if it's made up. Like, make something up. Like, it doesn't even matter. I'm in a hurry right now, but I promise I can talk to you on Friday or something and set this up. And they're usually 9 times out of 10, they're like, awesome. Like, yes, let's do it. You know, they're excited about it, especially since you're promising them something. If you use the word promise, it sounds extremely important to them. And it's like, it's another psychology thing. It's crazy how well it works, but it does.
Yeah, there's just a couple key words you want to do, and you want to get them on the 3-way call.
And
let me do the heavy lifting for you and do the call, because I say the same thing pretty much every time in the same order. And Brandy knows this because she's heard me do 30 of them or however many of them. So she knows I say the same thing every time. And people are receptive to it right now. And it's not because of me, but it's because of wine. You know, like people, like I say on the calls, people are so tired of hearing about candles, vitamins, shakes, makeup, all these things over and over again. I mean, the home business marketing method works. That's why these companies that do $1 billion in sales are utilizing it. They're not utilizing it because it's an inferior way to do business. They're utilizing it because it's a great way to do business. And no one has ever connected it with a wine tasting club in the way that we're doing it, to where we're able to do business in 48 states. Well, actually 47 for another week, but it'll be 48. And instead of like our so-called competition that is able to do it in 21 states, and they're just using U.S. wines instead of international wines.
That Traveling Vineyards company makes their own wine. Like,
right.
They're not even getting wines from other wineries. Like, they make their own. I talked to somebody that works for them, and I tried to prospect her, but it didn't work because she's been doing that for 4 years. So she's got quite a team underneath her, so she wasn't interested.
Right.
But they make their own wine.
Right.
Like, that's not even the same, not even nearly the same thing as what we're doing.
Right. No one's doing it like this. You know, they have a business plan and a goal in place to be the largest wine tasting club in the country in the next 18 months. And we haven't even launched yet. It's going to happen in January. So like I tell people, we're going to go from 0 to 100 in no time at all. Mm-hmm. And those of us that are poised right now, not only getting in, but, you know, getting our little teams established and our core leadership established, we're going to be in such a position to profit from all of that. You know, finally in that right place at that right time. It's really exciting. And what I say on the calls is true. I'm not saying these things, you know, to excite them for the sake of exciting them. These things are true, and they should excite us also. So I really think that we're onto something here. And, you know, I just share with them.
Go ahead.
I share with them what we're excited about. And that's kind of how I approach the 3-way calls. I'm just like, look, hey, I'm going to tell you what we're all excited about here, and chances are it's going to excite you too. It may or may not, but, you know, I look forward to telling you what we're excited about, and we'll see if it makes sense to you. You know, so it's very hands-off. It's not pressure. It's not a salesy type of thing, and neither should be piquing their interest. When you pique if you send them, and I understand human nature, when someone asks you something, you feel almost compelled to send them, okay, well, this is what it's about. It's a wine tasting club. We haven't even launched yet. They're called direct sellers, blah, blah, blah. You want to do that because you feel like it's the right thing to do because they're asking you. You know, so you feel like, oh, they're asking me. I need to. The purpose of the 3-way call is for me to communicate to that to them. You know, when they ask you, immediately you go into setting up the 3-way call because I have a way to tell them in a very, you know, logical order as far as, you know, our background and why we're even looking at this, the background of the company, the fact that it's a new opportunity, specifically what the product is, that it's an evolved compensation plan, and that they've learned that they need to combine some quick money with that long-term back and residual money as well to keep retention and all that. So I go into that in a very logical way and a salesy way to where I'm not like coming on hard or saying, hey, when do you want to do it? You ready to go today? You know, hey, for $19.95, you know, it's not like an infomercial sales thing. You know, I just kind of tell them what we're all excited about, why we're losing sleep, why since 2009, this is the first other home-based business networking kind of thing that I've ever looked at in 7 years. You know, it's because we're doing something different. We're doing wine. It's an evolved industry. It's an evolved compensation plan. They're on it. They have the company infrastructure built in place. They're poised for growth. I'm sure there's going to be some bumps in the road, and there's going to be some things, you know, as we launch to where we're all going to have to exhibit some patience with, but that's to be expected. But the payoff for us being patient, where other people won't have to be, is that we're poised to benefit and profit in an insane way like others aren't. So that's the payoff. So, but anyways.
Right. If they start asking you 20 questions, that's when you bring up, like, just tell them you're in a hurry. You cannot talk to them right now. You have appointments scheduled all day, but I can talk to you Friday. That's, and you say, I will get you on the phone. We will talk about this, and I'll tell you what I am so excited about.
Right, and you don't even necessarily want to say, hey, is it okay with you if I do a three-way call with my upline?
No, you don't have to say that.
You don't want to get into that. What you want to say is, hey, look, I'm in a hurry. I understand you have questions. There's legitimate questions. I want to answer every single one of them. I can't do it right now, but I promise you I can get to you Friday. I can do, like, I don't know, morning or later in the afternoon. Which one is better? You're giving them a choice.
Right. Don't say what works for you, because then it sounds like you're open all day.
Right.
And you do not want to give them that.
You don't want to be at their beck and call.
Yeah, you don't want to give them that option. Like, you want to tell them, I'm available from this time or this time. Which one works best for you?
You're giving them a choice, and they're going to be like, oh, well, if that's my two options, they're going to be asking themselves, if that's my two options, I guess early afternoon works best.
Right.
Great. And then when that time comes, like a half an hour before, maybe shoot them a quick text, you know, let them know, hey, I just want to make sure, you know, we're still on for 4 because I'm really busy. And in fact, I'm going to have my partner on. I mean, he's doing this thing full time, and he does a great job of explaining this. So I'm going to have him on the phone with me. I'm just making sure that, you know, that time's still good for you. Or whatever, in your own words. You just send them a quick text and verify. So that's really it. You get them on the phone.
And another thing is, like, the third-party tools, for some reason, they say there's a psychology behind the third-party tool as well. So even if you're 2 months into the business, you could probably give a three-way call or talk to them yourself all day long. There's something about getting someone else on the phone.
Right. For example.
To explain the information rather than yourself.
For example, I explain it all day long. Right, Brandy? and Wendy's been getting me now. Started in this, and Heather. Yep. So I explain it all day long, pretty much every day. But if I personally have someone to talk to, guess what? I'm getting Austin to do my three-way call.
Even though he can do it all day long, he still gets someone else.
I still
on the
get,
phone.
because you know what? That biblical principle of a prophet is never accepted in his own home, that's there for a reason. You know, like, it's for someone that knows me personally, they'll be like, what the hell does Derek know about wine business? I mean, come on. I've known him my whole life. He doesn't know. But, you know, I make Austin the expert. I talk him up. I edify him. I'm like, man, this guy was a top earner in 2 different companies. He's a documented 7-figure earner. He is my partner. I'm so excited to have him as my mentor in this. And this is all he's doing. And I know you're smart. You're going to have some great questions about this. So I'm just going to have him on the phone and let him do the explaining. And I edify him and put it on him, even though I can do it. Doesn't make a difference. That psychology of the third-party call is just as relevant to me as it is to everybody else. Right. That's how we go about doing it. So
it works.
It works.
Brandy knows it works.
Right. Right. Miss Master Seller.
Almost.
I honestly just want to help people out. Like, I mean, the financial, just to,
me too.
The very top of a company that hasn't even launched. I think if you're not in an MLM ever before, you might not understand that yet. But we understand that. We get that. So that's why I'm like, oh my God, like, I just want to help so many people that, you know, like I was just telling Nikki, like, I seen her post about maybe having to go to work, and I'm like, oh my God, I just want to see her stay home with her kids, like that kind of thing. So you see, if you have the right mindset and you're, you know, really are speaking from your heart or whatever, guys, like,
Right.
like you really want to help people, because it's that's what it's really about. So
Right, and
Yeah,
people know that.
absolutely.
If you're like talking out your ass and you're just trying to sell them and you're trying, you know, people know that. They can discern that. They're not dumb. People are smart for the most part. If you genuinely feel from your heart, like, I'm trying to do you a favor here, you just have no idea. This is what I do full time. I don't do anything else. And I can tell you, this is the one time where finally, you know, I feel like I'm in the right place at the right time with the right company for the first time in my life. And we're losing sleep over it. Bobby! So we're losing, we're
have a
losing
naked
sleep over it.
baby.
You know, we're excited and just sharing that excitement with them. You know, it catches on because it's not necessarily what you say, it's how you're saying it. They're catching the enthusiasm. They're like, yeah, that guy might not be the most gifted speaker I've ever heard, but he sure is excited about something. And people want to be part of a moving train.
They can hear his excitement.
Right,
in his
and
voice.
that's what gets 9 out of 10 people to commit to it. The enthusiasm and the excitement and the delivery, not necessarily the messenger. You know,
I hear it 10 times a day, and
Yes,
I'm
she
like,
does.
I want to sign up again.
Right.
Please. Yeah.
Right.
We actually have a recording for those of you that have not listened to a three-way call with Derek yet, or have not gotten on the phone with Derek yet during a three-way call. I think most of you have heard it because, you know,
I either did it for you,
yeah,
or I
you
did it.
probably got on the phone with him. But if you want to listen to a recording so you can jot down some notes or whatever, we do have one recorded that we did yesterday.
Right, and we're going to try to record another one because, to be quite honest with you,
He says he didn't do good. I think he did fine.
it was late last night, and I was tripping over my words a little bit. I was tired, so I would prefer to do another one to give a more accurate representation of
But
what
yet
they really
that girl's excited and wants to sign up. So
Right, that's the bottom line. You know, you don't always have to say everything right. And that's another thing. You know, if you can't say, you know, the wrong thing to the right person. You know, if you're just excited and you're sharing your heart with them, you might trip up a little bit. You might not necessarily, you know, say everything the exact, you know, right way, but it doesn't matter. They get your enthusiasm. So that's really what matters at the end of the day. But you guys, you know what? You don't even have to worry about doing three-way calls for yourself yet, because right now my schedule is so wide open. I'm more than happy to do them. And if for some reason, and trust me, I do not take any offense to this. If you have someone that is looking into this and you're like, I'd rather get Austin on the phone with them, that's completely cool. You know, I don't, all I want is for this company to move forward, for our group to move forward, and for you to make profit. So if in your best judgment, you think, I think Austin might be the better guy for me to use for this particular person for whatever reason, that's fine. You don't even think twice about it. You know, and if you don't have Austin's number and you want it for that specific purpose or any other purpose, just let us know. You know, we'll post it.
Yeah, Austin does three-way calls all day long too. So
Yeah,
he doesn't mind at all.
It's not like I'm the only one doing
Doing
these
them
things here.
for-
And if I'm double booked and I got, you know, 2 of them set for 5 o'clock and or whatever, and that's the only time one of your people can get on, you know, there's Austin. We're a team. So, you know, I could care less. There is no ego. You know, all I want is for this team to move forward and for you guys to get profitable. And, you know, let's all build a great team here. So whatever it takes, you know, so it doesn't matter who's doing what. Let's just move forward.
Yeah.
So does anyone have any questions or anything? We got that team call at 9, of course. So, you know, if you guys have time to get on and you're not in bed yet, jump on it. We're going to be on it. But does anyone have any questions right now?
Yeah, I do.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Are you following up with people who like aren't answering you back after you ask the questions? You know how we normally follow up. Are you coming back to them, or are you kind of letting it go, or what are you doing?
Brandy, do you want to answer that? Or you?
No.
Yes, I am following back up with them. But it might be a totally different question, like, then I might say, I don't know. I'm trying to think here. Like, oh my gosh, I just seen, I don't know. I just seen you bought Turbo Fire at a yard sale today. Oh my gosh, where's the yard sale at? And just like, it'll be a totally
message.
It'll be a totally different, but it'd be a totally different question, not to do with what, but you have to always end your messages with the question. Always end with the question, because if you don't, they have no reason to get back to you. But
right.
I'm going to tell you this, guys, don't always get offended when somebody doesn't respond back to you. And this is why I know, because I have 3 kids that are wild, and I'm driving back and forth a lot. And I sometimes will see a message pop up, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I'll get back to them later. And I completely space out and completely forget. So you have to be the one to get back with them, and give it a day or 2 and then follow back up with them again until they tell you to stay the hell away from you and block you, and you keep messaging that person.
Right.
10 times rule.
And like,
keep following up. If it takes,
yes.
If it takes 50 times, fine. If they haven't answered after 50 times, 51.
right.
That's what it takes. 51. The 51st time.
And I understand, I'm sensitive to the fact that I don't want to be a bother to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be perceived as that person like, oh my God, here he comes, let's leave the room. Or like, he's going to ask me about that thing again. None of us want to be perceived that way.
Mm-hmm.
And none of us have to be perceived that way. We can like treat this professionally and not be that person. But yet, that doesn't mean not following up for the reasons you just said. A lot of people, it might be important to us. It's not important to them yet because they just don't get it yet. So you got to follow up and be like, hey, I just want to remind you. Or like we talked about earlier, Brandy, you could say like, hey, you know what? I got a couple great marketers coming on.
Oh, yeah.
In the next couple days. And, the way that this business is structured and the way that it works, it would just behoove you for them to be under you rather than above you. And I care about you. And right, it is true.
That's what I told Nikki today, because I'm like, you talk to them first. Like, I want you up there first, because they're coming up. They're going to be. I talked to her first. I'm like, come on, you need to get in there now,
And that's true. That's not a sales pitch. That's telling them, look, we care about you, and I did talk about you first, and I got a couple other people ready to pull the trigger here, and I would love for you to also get commissionable sales volume based on what they're going to do, because I think they're going to out. So you want to create that sense of urgency with people in a very laid-back way. Not, you're not pushing them. Hey, you said you were going to do this. I haven't seen you do anything yet. I just want to touch base with you. You sign up today? You don't want to do that. But you want to put that fear of loss.
Derek said the same thing to me. So really what you got to do is just listen and learn to Derek. Every time he does a 3-way call, I take notes because I know I'm going to have to be doing them eventually. Just keep taking notes and listen and learn. Like, that's just what you do.
Right.
I do have something to say, too, about that. Bob Heilig said something about if following up with people, that at the end you just tell them, well, you're busy. You might not, this might not be the best time for you, so I'm going to take you off my list.
Right.
People don't like to be taken off lists.
That's another psychology thing. It's the same like, oh my God, don't take me off your list. I am interested. Like, I haven't had time to get back with you yet. Like,
there's a video posted on the website that it's about 5 minutes. It's a really good watch.
The one that
they do not like to hear you're going to be taken off a list. Like, they're like, wait, no, don't forget. Like, it's a psychology thing. They hate it.
Right.
So that's an excellent point.
It's the same with Beachbody. Jamie, it was Jamie's first coach. She talked to me forever and ever. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe next week. And it's just because I didn't understand it. It wasn't important to me. It wasn't, So don't take it personal, guys. Just make sure that you keep following up. And like I said, people are busy. I see your message and just forget. I do that all the time. So just, keep following up.
Yep. That video is posted in the Facebook group, too. I posted it earlier today.
I still haven't watched that yet, but I'm going to.
I thank Carolyn for getting me hooked up in.
I have one person bringing me along right now. She's She's really irritating.
Right.
So I'm gonna find out what to say to her.
But you have to, if you send them messages like he said, and keep like following up and following up and following up, and they're like, she must really need me or something. So you know what?
Right.
I'm gonna let her keep. But if you say, you know what, Brandy, oh my gosh, I've got so many people that are so excited that are coming in. This might not be the right time for you right now. Would you like me to, message you later or whatever? And like, they're like, oh my gosh, yes, So you do have to create a sense of urgency. You do.
Right.
You have
You
to
just
let people
tell
know.
them, like, hey, I'm just like, I understand now is not the right time for you. I'm just gonna stop messaging you. I'm gonna stop contacting you for now. And if you want to talk to me later, then that's fine. But I'm gonna just don't want to keep bugging you, so I'm just gonna stop contacting you.
Right, but here's the thing.
They don't like that either.
Let me throw this caveat in. You don't pull this kind of a thing that she's talking about until you've tried to follow up with them for 3 or 4 times.
Right.
It's not like because they don't answer you once. Say, okay, well, I'm going to take you off my list.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. You're not going to do that right away. This is going to be after,
like
3 or 4 attempts.
2 months of like trying to get them to sign up.
Happy birthday, Lauren. Yes.
Happy birthday, Lauren.
and Lucas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
You look great for 19.
But yeah, you're not going to pull that kind of thing right away. So don't feel like so defensive on your end that if someone doesn't answer you back within 30 minutes, you're like, okay, well, now's not the right time. I'm going to take you off my list. That's not what we're saying.
No. This
is after a couple responses and they're not responding. So even after you say, you know what, I'm putting in a couple great marketers. They see the idea of getting started with this before we even launch, and I would love for them to be under you instead of above you, especially since I talked to you first. I really care about you. I care about your success. And then if they don't respond to that, then you might pull hey, obviously this isn't the right time for you, and that's fine. No problem. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and take you off my list for now. We're going to launch in January. I'll get a hold of you sometime after we launch and maybe see if that's a better time for them.
Yeah.
And then you're pouring out that last ditch effort there. But, you're not doing that right away. I just want to clarify that.
Yeah,
because some people,
not right away.
you might be quick to do that because you're so self-conscious about yourself.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be looked upon as a salesman. You might be real quick to pull that trigger. And you don't want to do that right away.
Make sure you're doing your personal development, guys, so you do believe in yourself. When you're messaging people, you're confident, because if you're not doing personal development, you're just not going to be confident. But if you do personal development, you get this confidence that you never thought you had, like seriously. So
right. And one more thing about that is,